Hi everyone, this is Chris Cohen, and I'll be taking you through the website Quizlet. Quizlet is a vocabulary program that allows you to do many different things as far as teachers creating uh, sets of note cards and also the students creating note cards and students being able to go on and individually study the note cards in different ways. So we look at it, here's the home screen, website www.quizlet.com. I've already logged in here. Up in the right hand corner, they give you your login. And I'll take you through a set of cards that I created a couple of years back when I was doing a co-teaching language arts class, 8th grade. And for the final exam review, our teacher gave out approximately 50 terms and had the students create note cards. Um, Along with them creating them pencil and paper, I also created these online, especially for my students that were lower functioning. They used it quite a bit because their note cards, A, some of them didn't get the note cards done, and B, some of the kids either lost them or just the whole concept of being able to know how to study with note cards is still sort of new to 8th graders. So I have been going online and using this program. So if we go into my set of note cards, I click here on the final exam review. It brings up a lot of different options for me. Now this is just the basic free version. There actually is a teacher version that allows you to do a lot more features, such as uploading pictures if you're a science teacher and you wanted to put a picture of a food chain or something along those lines. You could upload a picture and then you could have the students study and compare the picture to the other side of the note card. As you can see, this one, there are 49 terms, so there are 49 note cards in this. I'm just going to take you through some of the features. First part are just strictly note cards or flashcards. If I scroll down a little bit here, so it allows you to do a couple of different ways. You can put the vocabulary word on one side, or you can go over here and you can start with the definition. So either way, depending on how you wanted them to study it. The first time going through it, you can even put both sides of them, so you have your vocabulary word here, and you also have the definition down here. So if you have students who information is still pretty new to them, you can certainly have them run through these and look at them. You also can turn the audio on.
Third-person omniscient point of view. When the narrator tells the story from the outside, but enters the mind of two or more characters in the story.
This is nice, especially for our lower functioning readers. I teach special ed, so this is great for some of my students who struggle with reading. They could click through them and get them read to them.
Third-person point of view. Point of view using words such as he, she, it, and they.
So that's the first thing they can do. So they can go through, turn the audio off, and they could simply just quiz themselves. So characterization, and they could come up with what they feel like the definition is, and they could flip it, or we could start with the definition, and then they click on it.
A scene that is set in a time prior to the main setting of the story.
And then the vocabulary word comes up. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing is the learn portion of it.
A scene that is set in a time prior to the main setting of the story.
And you can see that this is already set to the audio. So they can do one or two things. They can either click in here and they can type in the answer, or they could say give up and it will give them the answer. So this answer is flashback.
A scene that is set in a time prior to the main setting of the story. Flashback. the story where the conflict is resolved.
Or we can change it. Right now it's on speak text because that's what I use mostly with my students. You can take that off. You can also click here, give up if they don't know the answer. And then it has them copy down the answer so they can't just continue to click through. So that's the learn portion of it. Another one, I like this one for some of our struggling spellers.
Cause and effect.
It'll give them the term.
Cause and effect.
And they write it in.
Setting.
And then if they get one wrong,
S-E-T-T-I-N-G. Setting.
S-E-T-T-I-N-G.
Resolution.
Alright. So you could do this, especially if you were at the younger grades where you're still doing spelling tests. You could put your spelling words up on here. But even at the middle school level and high school level, we still have a lot of students who struggle with spelling and decoding words and things like that. So the speller portion of it is definitely a good option. Another one is a test version. You can set up how you want the test to go. So if I look over here on the right hand side, the question types, so say I want to take off written, I want to do matching, multiple choice, true and false. And I can either start with the term, or I can start with the definition, or I could do both. And I set my limit. I only want to do 10 questions. And so the students can go through and they can quiz themselves. There's your matching portion. We go down here, we have 5 multiple choice questions. 3 multiple choice questions, then we have some true and false questions. So different things we can do as far as teaching our students how to quiz themselves. And then they have also a few games. First one's scatter. What you do is you need to match the definition with the vocabulary word by placing them on top of each other, and then it's a timed component. So repeating a word or phrase within a poem, so they would drag it down here to repetition, and then they would continue to go. Look down here, your record, so this is the highest or the best time that you've gotten, so they're always kind of pushing themselves to beat their top score. And the last portion is race. This is where you're going to see some things coming across the bottom, and then let's set it to definition, and we need to write the term in. Alright, so this one, I got it wrong, because obviously I didn't read the entire definition. But using clues, I put in context clues, but it was making predictions. And so what it'll do is it'll force you to write the answer in, so you're making sure that the students really understand it before you go. So there's a high score list. You'll see that Mauser L, which was a gen ed teacher for this, did it with the students. Students in the class were shouting out the vocabulary words as they were coming across. And she actually had different classes competing with one another, and I think the top class got some sort of a prize. So lots of different things you can do with this. So like I said, this set is just made out of the free version. You can upgrade to it, and it does cost money, but there are some pretty cool features. So if you go to this teacher portion of it, like I said, you can upload images, you can do voice recordings, which is nice. So you could have the teacher's voice and different hints when they're doing vocabulary cards, um, similar to what you would get in the classroom if you were stuck, some little clues to sort of scaffold them to the answer. Nice thing is there's no ads with the free version. They need to get paid somehow, so there's quite a few ads in this. And also, I like this feature right here is class project progress, um, which you can go in and you can see how your students are doing. So, like I said, this is Quizlet. Um, it's very easy to use, very user friendly. It's nice that the students can go on. One last feature I'm going to go over. Um, you can also, when you create a list, it goes out to a database, and so anyone could search for my final exam review, and they would be able to pull it up. But in a situation where you wanted something that's already pre-made for you, so let's just say our language arts class is just finished with The Giver. If you wanted to do something with The Giver, which is a book, there are many different options of what teachers already created, so you don't need to go back through and totally reinvent it. So this one has the characters. So you want to go over the different characters in it, and you have all your same features here that you had with the set that you created. So down here, you could start them off. If they're unsure about it, you can put both sides. So you can figure out who Jonas is. He's the main character of the story, and you could have them go through each of these before going in and having them quiz themselves, either with the definition first or with the term first. So thanks for watching this. Hopefully you guys get a better idea of Quizlet. If you don't utilize it in your classroom, it really is a good tool. Something that I use quite a bit. It's nice when that you don't have to recreate everything. So I have a couple of groups of note cards, but like I said, you can go in here and search, and you can pull great sets of note cards that people have already made. Thanks for your time.